Hello everybody. Heartland has been at the center of our hearts for the past 15 years. The show had its ups and downs, but has always remained as a Canadian TV royalty in our eyes. The 15th season of the show also hasn't become different from the others, as it continued to provide us with quality content. The show has an amazing plot, based on the novels of Lauren Brooke. No shade to the novels, since they're already great, but the screenplay of Heartland perfected the original material and helped us to visualize every single character, to the point that we often assume they are real people. The brilliant cast of the show also has to be praised at this point, as they are highly talented in delivering their parts. The fact that the main cast of the show has remained more or less the same since the very beginning also contributes to the idea of these characters being real people. For instance, we have been watching Amy Fleming, played by Amber Marshall, on screen since 2007. She grew in front of us and became a brilliant young woman. Naturally, we feel highly attached to her. While this is a blessing, for the most part, it can also be a major curse for the show, as the story turns into a highly character-driven one. The biggest disadvantage of the character-driven plot is the fact that when the actor that plays a certain character decides to leave the show gets a major blow. This is exactly what had happened to Heartland last year. When Graham Wardle, who was playing the part of Ty Borden, left the series, we were all shocked, couldn't believe that his character would be killed off. It was a difficult task to imagine a Heartland without Ty, as he was a central part of the series from the very first episode. And yet, the show continued. Of course, it wasn't the best of Heartland by no means, however, still, Heartland Season 14 managed to keep the core audience of the show despite the absence of Ty. Nevertheless, Season 15 has become the one that made it certain that Heartland is powerful enough to survive without Ty. It's been almost 2 months since the new season premiered, and we loved every single part of it. Now that we're approaching Sunday, the day that we will be blessed with the new episode of Heartland, let's take a look at what to expect from episode 7 of the 15th season of the show. The 7th episode is titled Bluebird. The recently released promo of the episode hints us quite a bit on what to expect from it. Well, even though Ty is gone for more than a year now, it seems like this episode will revisit the tragedy of his death. The promo starts with the footage of Lindy at the backseat while Amy is landing her a drink. In the meantime, we hear a man's voice, saying J.D. Worth used me. It was an accident. Then, we see Tim and Jack, as Tim is going somewhere in anger. Jack asks him what he is doing and Tim answers, "I'm making sure Amy would not run into Grady ever again." In our opinion, this episode will be the one that faces the killers of Ty for the first time since his death. Ty died in the first episode of Season 14. His death was a sudden one. In the Season 13 finale, we saw him and Amy hanging out in the woods while a wolf was running toward them desperately. A man was trying to hunt the wolf, as the poor animal was fighting for his life. The man's bullet, however, didn't shoot at the wolf, but mistakenly shot at both Amy and Ty. At first, neither Ty nor we realized that he was injured. As he took Amy to the hospital, he was assuming that he was okay. Then, once he made sure Amy was fine, he realized his injury and was taken into the operation immediately. The operation was a success. He left the hospital as a healthy man. However, soon after, while he was taking care of the horses, he dropped suddenly due to an unexpected blood clot. The incident was devastating for all of us. Seeing poor Amy crying for her husband was unbearable. Naturally, we got mad, really mad, at the people who were responsible for Ty's death. To be honest, it was surprising to see that those men were never mentioned again in the show. Well, it seems like this is the time that we revisit the killers of Ty. Amy seems to be encountering Grady at a gas station as he was working there. We cannot imagine the shock of Amy at the scene. She will probably be forced to hide her true feelings as Lindy is in the car as well, and as her mother, she needs to stay strong. She will probably talk about the incident to Jack, who will deliver the news to Tim. Well, we all know Tim. He will not be able to keep himself cool and will take his anger out of Grady, even though no violence can bring Ty back. At the end of the promo, we see Tim hitting Grady. To be honest, it's impossible to not feel a little bit of satisfaction from that scene. However, when we come to our senses, we know that violence is not a solution to anything, and further escalation of tension with Grady would only end up hurting the family even more. Still, this episode will be filled with emotions, and we are already preparing ourselves to tear up. What do you think of Heartland Season 15 so far? Are you excited about Bluebird? What do you think will happen to Grady? Do you think Amy will be able to remain calm? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you soon.